Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know. Like a motherfucking trap addict. Bye, bye, bye. In a menudo style and direct fashion, man, we're going to get straight into the content of the day. But before we do, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directed in the direction of the dope content I am kicking. And I highly appreciate all the support. So I wanted to talk about what is the worst place, the most dangerous place in California. Not necessarily just California, but the most dangerous place, period. But I could only speak on California because that's where I did most of my time, right? So it's not high desert. It's not Salinas Valley or Pelican Bay. It's not behind them walls. That's dangerous. Don't get it twisted, man. Once you're there, there's no one to run to. This is not an escape song. Who can I run to? There's no one to run to. You either got to handle your business or get handled by the business. And that's just it. And we all know that. But I think the most dangerous place, period, is the parole office. And let me explain to you some situations, things that I've seen, things that happened to me at the parole office. See, at the parole office, there is no SNY yard. There is no protective custody. It is what it is. You're going to show up for your parole and you're going to show up or you're going to get violated and do some time behind them walls. And there's going to be no one there to protect you. There's going to be no one there to say who's there and who isn't there. Because see, what you have in prison are SNY yards, PC, protective custody, things of that nature where guys are put on certain yards and kept segregated from general population active inmates because they have a sensitive need or there's one reason or another why they can't go back to them general population yards. That's cool. It is what it is, man. It's part of life. You're going to be on one yard or you're going to be on another. Either way, you're doing your time. You're not going to escape that reality. That's facts. But at the same time, when you get out, and everybody has that same type of emotion. You're happy to get out. Wow, what is this? A computer, right? You're fucking all happy. You finally got out. Now you're trying to catch up. So you got a lot going on. See, it can change from that one day of being incarcerated to the next of being out and all these freedoms and liberties and all these things that you haven't experienced for a minute. Now all of a sudden, everyone's coming at you. You got homeboys trying to get at you. You got chicks. You got fucking family. You got bills to pay. There's a lot going on. So you have to either get right in the groove of things or pay attention to yourself and realize that as a man, there's things you have to take care of to keep that freedom. Because believe me, if you can't pay bills and you can't take care of your business, your ass belongs back in there, man, where they'll do everything for you. Orale, there's some SOS. Eat it. That's just how it is. Parole offices are crazy. Most of them. Okay, I could speak on the one from my city where I'm from. You know, there was no, if your parole officer's like, hey, you better show up by 1, you better be there by 1. You get there, you sign the little log, you sit your ass down. Whoever else is in there, best believe every one of them people that are in there have been to prison, so they know what it is. Some of them are general population active guys. Some of them are SNY guys. You don't know who's there in that parole office. There might be someone you recognize, and if you were an SNY guy or you were an active guy, it could be all bad because Vatos will recognize your bullshit and be like, okay, now I know what it is. Now I see you. It's kind of like Instagram or the internet, people going live and letting people know their location or where they're at. If somebody knows where you're at that doesn't feel a certain way about you and wants to get at you, well, now he knows your program. Okay, that's how it is at the parole offices. There are no SNY yards. There's no protection. When you're in that lobby waiting for your parole officer to call you back and your name is on that log, it is what it is. They're going to get with your programa, right? I've seen plenty of instances. Let me tell you. So one time, man, I'm sitting in the parole office. My parole officer calls me in for a UA, right? Usually they pop up at the pad just on some gangster shit. Just boom, snatch you up, cuff you. Hey, I'm going to need a piss test, right? Because somebody dropped a dime or somebody said, hey, I think that vato's on drogas, right? This was way before internet shit. So they weren't able to see if your eyes were googly on Instagram. So anyways, they would pop up at the pad, bam, UA or whatever. And sometimes they would call you in. Or you'd have your monthly UA, depending upon your case factors. If you were high control parole, everybody's on different levels. There's some people that are on paper parole where they just have to fill out a paper once a month, slide that in. Them are them level 2 guys. Or once you've been on parole for long enough, you know, minimum 3 years. And then, you know, all of a sudden after about the first or second year, they start having you do paper parole, meaning you just have to fill some shit out, turn it in, or every once in a while come meet up with your parole officer, show them that you're still working or whatever, and then get on, right? Sometimes it's in and out. Sometimes they want to question you on some bullshit or just shoot the shit with you. That's just how it is. So anyways, this one day I had to go in on a surprise UA. You know, I had got a new job. They UA'd me at that job. So I was feeling some type of way because it's like, man, I just fucking UA'd. But whatever, man. You're not going to deny your parole officer shit. If they tell you to do something, you do it or you go back on a violation. Period. I've been on plenty of violations. I understand what it is. So anyways, I'm sitting there just posted up and a couple vatos walk in. And when they walk in, they're kind of looking at me, right? Whatever, right? All tatted down, gang banged out. I know what it is, man. At this time, I'm non-active. I ain't participating in the shenanigans. So if they're going to feel some type of way, they're going to feel some type of way. Now, most vatos won't get off in the parole office. They'll wait till you come out. Most of these guys got homeboys already waiting in cars in the parking lot, chilling. There's usually a sheriff out there somewhere in the vicinity, some type of security roaming around to tell all the fucking bullshitters, get out of here. But not this day. So I'm posted up waiting. I see these guys are kind of looking at me, but minding their own business. They fill out their little thing, so both of them are on parole. Well, anyways, this vato walks in, okay? When he walks in, they kind of look at him and just smirk. And so I say, oh, this shit ain't for me. I'm going to go ahead and sit back. I'm going to lounge back and watch. You guys got any popcorn? Right? Because it's about to go down. Of course, I get called to go see my parole officer. At that time, I'm not even going to say her name. She was a tenacious, vicious parole officer. For my neighborhood where I was from, man, my gang, it seemed like she was always our parole officer. She was the most vicious one in the town. Nobody wanted this chick, right? So I go in. Of course, she's looking me up and down, hoping I'm wearing any speck of red or anything she could violate me for. She throws me my cup. I do my little UA. She's, looking all at the peeps. It's done. Whatever. Is there anything else I can help you with? No. She goes, I want you to go out and sit in the lobby because I need you to fill out some paperwork. I was almost getting off parole, so I said, oh shit, maybe this is my discharge. I didn't know. It was my first time on parole at that time, right? So I go sit down, boom. These vatos, one of the two guys that had come in after me, they're back there with the parole officer. Another one's just sitting down. That vato who walked in, who they were mean mugging, he's sitting there too, waiting. There's a couple chicks, right? So I start popping at one of the chicks. She was in Chowchilla. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, I got to get her number one time for a mine. I ain't going to lie to you guys. Them chicks stepping out of Chowchilla, man, once they shed that baby fat, it's a wrap. Them bitches be looking bad, right? So I'm over here trying to pop at her, waiting on my parole officer. And I already know my parole officer's going to put me on hang. I'm going to be there all day. She ain't the type to just, oh, look, I got you. You can go about your business killing people. Here, there you go. Nah, she's the type, sit your ass down and you wait for me. They have that complex. So anyways, it is what it is. This other guy comes out. Right? The two guys that fucking came in there in the beginning. And again, they're not even looking at me or tripping off of me. They don't know who I am. I don't know who they are. And it's crazy because in the town, everybody pretty much knows everybody. But I could tell that they were actively in the mix. You could just tell by the way, their mannerisms, how they carry themselves. They had like a superiority type fucking move, right? Well, they call this guy to go into parole. The one that came in after them. The other one's still waiting. Then they call him. So now it's just me. And fucking that other dude goes outside. So I'm thinking, okay, whatever. Maybe I just was tripping. Maybe they weren't even tripping like that. They were just me mugging. And I'm still waiting. And then my parole officer comes out. And she's like, come here, hurry up. Right? I'm like, oh shit, this was fast. I signed the paperwork. I tell the chick, hey, if it's major, hit me on my page. And we're good, right? So I go outside and light a frajo. Boom. I'm waiting on the homegirl to swoop me up. She's not there yet, right? And that one vato's in the parking lot posted up by a car. I guess he's waiting for his homeboy. Well, his homeboy comes out and they're chopping up, they're smoking a flower. And that's what would happen. It's like a fucking gangbang. Ain't nothing but a gangster part. Vatos are just all out there waiting for their rides and shit. Well, that other dude comes out, the one that came in last, right? And as soon as he comes out, he's going to get in his Honda Accord. Doop, doop, boom, they're on him. Brrr, down, everybody down. Only there's no one yelling down. I think I yelled down, right? I kind of back up like, oh shit, they're fucking mollywopping this guy, right? Giving him the business right there in the parole office parking lot. You know what I mean? Degenerate, fuck you, USA. I'm hearing all kinds of crazy shit, right? So I'm like, oh fuck, I don't want to draw no attention because this was on the side of the building where our parole office, this was the old parole office, right? Before they moved it. Now it's over there by an In-N-Out burger and shit. Everyone's out there trying to do their thing by the old Kmart. But back in these days, it was over there right off 16th Street, right? By Rollerland in the cuts. Boom, 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 boom. They're giving this vault to the business. And that's it. They left him where they found him, right there by his Honda Accord. Chirp, 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 right? And they're boom, gone. So I kind of mob over there like, hey, bro, you okay? And don't do it. He hit me with the offense, defense, right? I'm like, hey, bro, are you good or what? He's like, fuck them fools, man. Them fools fucking are non-active, eh? Right? I said, what? Here I was thinking that they were active and he was non-active. He was the active one. They were non-active. They got off on him. These vatos were Northern Riders. I didn't even know this shit, right? They recognized him and decided to take flight, right? So he's like, no, bro, I'm active. I said, oh, shit, well, then you're not one of me. And I walk away, right? All right, now, homie, righteously, forever forward. He jumps in his whip. He's gone, right? Incident I seen. There were several other things that would happen at the pro office. Okay, let me tell you what happened with me. So I've told the story before. I went, and this was right when I had paroled, when I very, very first fell off, or what you would say fucking was not active no more, right? And I'm sitting in that pro office waiting, and a homeboy walks in that I know personally. Been partied with them, kicked it with them for years, right? Not from my vato, but I know this vato, right? He's from a different hood. A couple other youngsters coming with him. And about the first thing he says, hey, what happened, bro? He already knows, right? Word travels fast. What happened? I told him, you already know what happened, bro. I ain't going to sit here and explain myself. He was like, yeah, we're going to get at you outside. All right, well, fuck it then. Get at me outside. Catch me outside. How about that? They're like, oh, we are. Okay. You know what I mean? And they did. And they did a little, little pumping the chests and little swinging and whatever happened, right? That was an incident I went through. So every time I went to the pro office, I would be ready. I ain't gonna lie, man. Have a little something in the cuts. Usually have a homeboy go with me. A couple homeboys go with me, wait in the parking lot, wait for me. All right, this is how it's gonna go, bro. So I'm gonna go in the pro office. I'm gonna take my piss test. I'm gonna tell them whatever I gotta tell them. And as I come out the door, I'm gonna run, jump in the car, and just take off. Nah, but on some real shit, the pro office is very dangerous. I don't know how. I'm sure it's probably more worse in like LA, bigger cities, San Fran, even Fresno, San Jose, because there is no segregation. Whoever you see that day, it's a fucking box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. It's going to be a surprise. Some days you go to parole and it's just going to be in and out, no problems, no issues, just a couple tiradas there from Chachilla. And then a couple times you're going to go in and it's going to be heavily populated with gang members, right? And if someone recognizes you or they feel some type of way, if they feel you're all bad, or even if not, just like I said in the beginning, the active got jumped on. What they did eventually, which I thought was worse, was after so many different incidents started taking place, no one ever lost their life. There was a shooting that happened, that occurred, man. But after all this bullshit was going on, the cops decided to segregate or fucking split shit up. So what they did was Tuesdays and Wednesdays will be non-active day, SNY day. Days for guys to come in that aren't gangbanging anymore, that either dropped out or changed or whatever, right? And then Fridays and Mondays would be for active gang members. Oh, wow. You guys really helped the system, right? So now all the non-actives know when the actives are there so they could just wait outside and get at them and vice versa. And best believe the actives will get at you, right? I thought that there's really no way to separate the bullshit. You think you leave prison in prison when you get out, but your tail follows you, man. Everything you do will catch up to you and people will recognize you. So here's the last little story I wanted to tell. It was about some chick. So this chick did her little prison time 3 or 4 years, right? This was a homegirl of mine. I knew her pretty good, real good, in fact. Straight tirada. She peeled the cap a couple times. She was good. She was good with it, right? Not the best, but far from the worst, right? But she was a fine-ass homegirl. She had an old man. Her old man was very possessive. I remember them going to parties and spots and him just fucking being on her. She couldn't even fucking go in the bathroom to change her pad. It was all bad. I keep it ghetto, right? He was on her. He'd be waiting by the door knocking. What are you doing in there? And she's like, fuck, I'm on my period. He's like, and? What does that have to do with us? So one of them type of relationships where she gets locked up. She catches a case for some dope. And years move on. And in the beginning, he's sticking with her like fucking sticky glue. And then little by little, she forgets about him. He forgets about her. Well, she never truly forgets about him or her. But I mean, hey, time heals all wounds. He's moved on. He's got a big old fat white chick. He's living his best life, taco truck time. And she's over here doing her own thing now. She's over there fucking gay for this day, doing that lesbian shit. So she gets out. And this vato is trying to fucking get at her. He hears that she gets out. He wants to reminisce a little bit. A little cat pilling. And she don't want nothing to do with this guy. So he catches her at the parole office, man. See, that's the one spot everybody knows. Anyone that's been in the street life or on some gangster shit that knows that when you get out, you're going to have to pull up to. So after this incident, she never had to pull up again, man. They would show up to her pad because... So she shows up to the parole office. And this is a story I heard, man, that I can confirm. I wasn't right there. But this is kind of why they were on it after this. So she pulls up. She's in the parole doing her thing. This guy comes out. He's waiting on the street for her. And so when she comes out, she sees him and she kind of tells the fucking people behind the desk, like, hey, I think there's going to be an issue here. My ex, whatever. They're like, hey, look, it's on you, bitch. You know what I mean? Get out of here. You know what I mean? Did you piss or what? Okay, there's next, right? Next one in line. Guard. They're cold, huh? You motherfuckers, right? So anyways, she goes out there. This dude snatches her up and beats the hell out of her right there in front of the pro office. Gets arrested, cops come, all that, but he smashed her pretty bad, right? After that, the pro office was kind of on it, man. I remember they were fucking, because I ended up going to parole after that, or going, to go see my officer after that incident took place. I had heard about it, and they had a sheriff outside that motherfucker for a minute posted, and they were on it. Everybody was on their P's and Q's, like, oh, no, I'm not involved, right? And that changed the complexity of things. But again, man, I think the pro office is the most dangerous place. I've heard stories where vatos, waited. They know their enemy's going to pop up and catch them. They'll catch you right there. Like I said, man, after a few incidents that I seen or that I was involved in, So look at, trip out since we have a little bit of time. So I remember one day I called my homegirl. I didn't have no ride to the pro office. I was fucking penniless, rideless, everythingless, except tortaless. I always had those, right? But none of them would let me borrow any more money. So anyways, I call a homegirl. She's the last of the Mohicans, right? She holds on like in Vogue, strong. I said, hey, girl, I need to go to the pro office today, man. It's either that or a violation. They're going to violate you, boy. She was like, fuck. All right, let me see if anyone will watch my 6 kids. I was like, all right, cool. So bam, she's like, hey, my sister-in-law's down. I said, hey, you got any money? Can we go to Jack in the Box? I'm hungry, right? So she's like, yeah, bam. Picks me up. We slide through Jack's. Bam, take me to my pro office. Whatever. I got a piss test. Do my thing. She's like, hey, I'll wait out here. I'm like, well, of course, So she's waiting out there. So when I come out, another homeboy that I was actually in prison with, but he was on the run, man. He was fucking... I've told his story before. I could tell his story again, man, in a different way. This vault was on one, right? He got out, and instead of trying to take care of his business, going to do his little parole, get a job or whatever, I was on that hype, man. I understood already, like, man, I'm trying to get my shit together out here. I ain't got shit. So I was trying to do the best I can, but I was still broke. This vault was really broke, right? He's out there spun out. He pulls up in a fucking Camry with just 4 different colors, riding on the donut, right? That's how it sounds when it pulls up. Well, he's popping it with the homegirl. She's outside of her Honda Accord. Why do Tortas always have Honda Accords? It's weird. It's like they were made just for them. So anyway, she's chopping it up with them, and I see him. So as I'm coming out, he's like, what's up, bro? How was it in there? I don't know. I was fucking pissed, and she yelled at me a little bit. What's up, though? He was like, man, fuck that, bro. I ain't doing parole. But he's all in front of the pro office. Could easily just walk in there, turn himself in, get his shit together, go to Tracy, do his little fucking violation, go to Valdivia, get 3 months, come out, and boom, he's back, right? But nah, he ain't doing all that. He'd rather do the good white Wes, right? So he's right there talking to the homegirl, and he starts trying to pop at her, and the homegirl's not feeling him. She's like, hey, fool, get your shit together. You know what I mean? You like, my leg is bigger than you. It probably was, too, to tell you the truth. She was a biggin. You know what I mean? But she paid like she weighed. She probably watches this. Anyway, so fucking, they're chopping it up. And he starts being disrespectful. And remember, I was locked up with this guy. So I know the real him. He ain't that. He ain't that one. He ain't with the activities like that, right? He was just there, right? So he starts talking shit to the homegirl, and he's like, fuck you, bitch. And he spits at her. And I get off the car like, hey, bro, this is right in front of the pro office. So I'm like, fuck, man, you're going to get me violated. But she's my ride, right? So I would go up to the homeboy. I'm like, hey, what's up, bro? And I had a little pico on me. I had a banger, a little knife, right? I would carry a little knife because shit, this is the pro office. Motherfuckers would get on you right here. So I fucking walk up to him. I'm like, hey, bro, what's up? And he's like, what, fool? Don't act all tough. This ain't prison. Motherfucker, what's happening? Right? Put that shit to his neck. Like, what's up, bro? The fuck you doing, right? What you talking about? You're right. This ain't prison. This ain't, baby boy, what's happening, right? I'm on some shit. I should have got your ass a long time ago. I'm doing the motherfucking Melvin. You know what I mean? Oh, everything's all good. The Hoovers, right? I'm on that motherfucker. Like, what's up, baby boy? He's like, hey, fool, I'm on drugs. Like, Get out of here. Ah! He peels off, draws attention. Sheriff comes out. What's going on there? I don't know. Is that where they sell the good tacos at that taco truck, right? Bam, I jump in the car with the homegirl. She wiggles out. Again, dangerous place. Anything could happen at any time at the parole office, man. Let me know some of your stories, shit that's went down. I've seen more things I can't speak on or tell you about, but I will tell you this, man. It goes down in places like that, man. And I always thought, like, you know, you think that you give up the life. This is a thing, too, for non-active gang members. I'm going to talk to you guys for a minute. Vaultos drop out or whatever, get whacked, removed. Whatever lands you in the SNY yard or the 50-50 yards or whatever lands you to the other side is what we like to call it. I'm on the other side, right? Whatever lands you over there, besides a weird case, you got a weird case, you got it coming, right? Don't think it's all fucking good, because now you got to go back to your hood, parole to your city or whatever. Vaultos are on your head. Now you got to go to parole where everyone knows you're going to pop up. You will get discovered. You will be found out. There is no way to hide, you know? And it's just a crazy thing. So to me, that's one of the most dangerous places, because I had some Vaultos I know, man. I'm just going to tell you right now. They went to a court date a while back, and Vaultos caught up with somebody at the court, whacked him in the court. I'm telling you, Vaultos ain't playing, man. You know. Anyways, with that being said, I hope that you enjoyed the content. Move with a purpose. Get everything that you want coming. And remember, at the end of the day, it's all about the struggle, to strive, to strive, to struggle. I got another banger coming up later on today. Make sure that you pay attention to it. It's crazy, right? Facts. You already know what it is. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I honestly and truly believe in, and that's the betterment of all people and providing the best possible content I can right here on this YouTube platform. Gracias for all the support, man. We're bubbling, man. Thank you so much. Bang, bang.